Muscle Insider. You know, when you're an amateur, you see like the Battle for the Olympia and all these other things. You see these guys roll up in their nice cars to the gym and all this other stuff. So we'll see Chris later. I feel like now I'm a pro and I get to do stuff like that. It's really exciting. So we'll go over here, talk to owner. We're at Six Pack Gym over in Culver City. It's a nice hardcore gym. So if you're in LA, you want to break from, you know, being at Goals in Venice. Like everybody's at Goals in Venice. And that's cool, but sometimes you really got to get out of that space, get to a different place where you can just not be distracted, put your headphones on or have the right music on, and really get to work. So let's get in here, get it going. What's happening here? We're with the owner. Welcome. Six Pack Gym.
It's an honor to have an IFBB pro here.
So this guy's been blessed enough to be able to be invited into his house to come train his equipment. So we want to thank him for that. Over here at the Real Deal, Chris Cormier. The guru, the legend. To be a guru, I feel like you really need to have gone through the ranks, and this guy has done that. He's a legend, so I'm fortunate enough to have him on my team, and we'll get into some discussion about what that really means a little bit later. But for right now, we're at Six Pack Gym in Culver City. Here with Muscle Insider, let's get it done.
The real deal, the legend.
Yeah, the legend Chris Cormier. Trying to figure out life.
Gerald, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah, no, thanks for the invite. This has been great. Like, we're going to spend the next few months getting ready for the Cal Pro, so we'll be down here at least once a month training, learning some of the things from the Grandmaster over here. It's always a big philosophy, right? Like if you want to do something, you want to go somewhere, and you've got to be able to talk to the greats and the folks that have come before you. I think that's where, you know, this particular generation is a little bit different with the gurus and everything like that. It's like, how many of these guys have competed, you know, at the pro level? How many of these guys have been on the Olympia stage? How many of these guys have toured the world? You know, even in my first year of competing, you know, I've done international shows, I've done guest posing, and all these things because I've had some guidance. Imagine that. You know, if you've never done this stuff, I don't understand how you can instruct someone to the next level. So, yeah, I'm really fortunate to have this guy on my team.
For years, man. How long have you guys? Like, you've known Chris since you,
since I was 19. He got me my first feature in NBC News, and you know, even when I took a long time out of the sport, 6-7 years away from competing, Chris was like, "Hey, you're coming back? All right, cool." And he's always been super forthcoming about information and supportive. Like, you genuinely feel that he wants you to succeed, but he's also not going to push you into something you don't want to do. He's like, "Hey, here's an opportunity. Take it or leave it." And I think that really is what we should look for, right? You see a lot of guys that are doing things because they're trying to get to the space to the next level, but they don't really want to do it. And this is particularly like an industry or hobby or however you want to bill it. It's something that you have to really want to succeed at. You have to want to do the things that you're doing, because if you don't, it's going to be really challenging.
It's too much work, man.
It's way too much work.
Yeah.
Too much work, too much energy, too much money to not be passionate about it. And I think that's really where we're at a space now, is you're passionate. And you have someone to teach you how to move to the next level.
You know what I've noticed, Gerald, also, is that Chris is not, I think he thrives more on helping people that are young, that are not champions already, people like you and like Cody and like Sergio, who are up and comers. And I think he just loves to take this blank canvas and make them to something great versus someone's already good.
Yeah, and I think there's an art to that, right? I think a lot of you guys out there that are, you know, in the NPC or the amateur ranks and you're trying to make it to the IFBB, you know, there's something to be said for having to come from the bottom, right? And understanding that everybody that's made it to some point, some people do totally get, you know, a golden ticket, right? And they're able to move and go fast. And they don't
That's not everyone.
That's not everyone, right? And so that's really who I'm speaking to, in the sense of the folks that have to come the hard way. Right, who have got to pay their dues at one level to get the next level, and then pay dues all over again. And that's really what Chris has been doing. I mean, I think it's easy to take the guys that are already at that level and just kind of put some polish on them. And he's had experience there too, which, you know, we'll get there. But I think there's also a space of coming from that area where you've got to come ground up, and you're coming ground up, and there's scaffolds along the way. And as you scaffold, you get to the space, and you've got someone that's been there that's patient with you. Right, and not every year is a successful year, right? Like the year I turned pro, like I got second at the USA's, and I was like, oh man. And he was like, you know, backstage at the show, he's like, don't worry about it. we're doing North Americans in 5 or 6 weeks. You'll be fine. And at that point, like I didn't really believe him. Like, really, what just happened here? Mind you, coming back after 7 years and getting second at the USA's is kind of like unheard of.
Yeah.
And the person I lost to was Cody. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Right. And so I mean,
won the whole show.
Right. And so in the sense of having to go head to head in that space and come back, and he's like, really, don't worry about it. In that same year, Sergio wins the Nationals. So you've got the North Americans, the USA's, and the Nationals.
Boom.
This guy, the whole slate.
That's a good track record, Chris.
That's a pretty good track record, right?
Yeah.
And so it's, I don't know if any guys out there, I remember, there were a couple guys back in the day that used to take guys to the next level, but, those guys were right there. We're all guys that were like 30 and under. That were coming up, and there's something to be said for bringing young blood into the sport too. Bodybuilding is one of those sports you can get into at any age, and as you get older, you get better. In some sports, like as they call it, football old. It's like American football old. It's like 30, like that's it. 30, you're just getting started. 35, 36, 37, you're just hitting.
That's when you start getting that old man muscle.
This guy
that's maturity.
Stepped on the scale yesterday, and he's like, "Yeah, that's an old man muscle." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like 266. Like, I'm like, "What are you doing?" And so there becomes a sport as you grow and develop. You really are able to get to the next level as you get older, right? It's opposed to not a decline, but an increase. It's really the only things that really, one of the only sports that really affords you that ability to get better as you get older if you're able to take care of yourself. But how do you take care of yourself with the longevity is working with the right people. And so some of you, what you'll see today is learning how to train right. And it's not necessarily about the training, it's not about the weight, it's not about, I can lift this, it's about mindset, right? It's about the intensity, it's about the mindset, it's about the structure that you put, it's about the rest that you allow. There's a synergy that allows you to be successful. But most people in the understanding of synergy is like you've got to have guidance, right? Like some of it's intrinsic, some of it's inside of you, some of it you get, and it's just you have that desire, that motivation.
Building blocks.
But there's skills along the way.
A certain level, bodybuilding 101 is basically like so many different detailed things like mindset, and like you said, mindset and training philosophy is going to change over the years. Like I've tried like every different training philosophy. So the things that I try to present to people is basically from trial and error, from a lot of
yours.
Experience. So, but I've done it all, seen it all, and I'm just trying to pass that on to the next generation like these guys.
Chris, let me ask you something. We just talked about how you like helping youngers like Cody and like Gerald and like Sergio getting to the pro level, but you also train some big names. I know you help Deshaun and Nathan and the Australian guy. I can't remember. Lenartoist, Josh. All these guys. Which one do you prefer helping? Do you like helping the younger guy better, or do you like taking guys that are really good and make them? I'm curious.
I like the younger guys that's like.
It's a good question though.
Well, the guys but they all listen to a certain extent, and everyone's gonna take whatever information and utilize it or not. But I don't think it's a young or old, but I think it's the ones that really like believe in the process that it's gonna take. It's not a quick process. Sometimes it's like do this. You're not gonna see the results for another few months or whatever.
Yeah.
Because the style is not like a microwave style. It's like
so they're more patient.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's almost like you gotta take in information, let that sit in your mind, and then once you try to present that to the state, it might be 3 months, might be a year later, but when they get it and it clicks, and then everything.
And plus, they probably have less bad habits as well,
right?
Because they're younger and they don't really know as much. There's no ego.
Yeah.
Right?
And your mind is a muscle, so whenever you learn something new, your mind's still going to try to massage that into your system, and sometimes it's going to revert back to what you've done before. Sometimes you can take on and go to a whole nother level. But it's all about raising your IQ in the gym and in the sport, and different philosophies that coexist within one's physique.
I like that. I like that you guys are talking a lot about the psyche of bodybuilding and the mental aspect of it, because that's something that's not talked about a lot.
Dorian is way mentally stronger than most of us. So that's why he did nothing but do that. He didn't. And then when I went out there and I learned a lot about him, they said he didn't take a left turn on the street. It wouldn't have nothing to do with winning the Mr. Olympia that next year. If he would leave is graduate the party after the Mr. Olympia because he had legs in his day. And I know he's like that. Even when you walk with the guy, he walks way ahead and he like waits at the corner from me because he's walking so hard. I'm like, man, I can't even keep up with your ass. But yeah, so it's different things like that and being around those type of people. Robbie Robinson, like I said, that I grew up with, he's been, someone like a strong mentor of mine. I just try to do like the same thing with these young guys.
Well, you are lucky. I mean, they're lucky to have you, but you also are lucky as you grew up in this sport to be around legends of their own. And I think it's great that you, like Gerald was, you're passing the torch to the new generation.
Get stride them, and then I did a number of years with class. We all know that. And just being around some young guys like Flex Wheeler, McClendon, that kind of shaped that whole thing, like all of it together at once. So.
And, like it's interesting. Like you think about Robbie came from a different era of bodybuilding, right? Where he reached out and had this mentorship. Chris came from a different era. Like when he was killing it, I was still a teenager. Like you turned pro, what, 93?
I don't know if you was even a teenager at the time.
No, 93, I think I was like 7, So, I mean, the reality is like, in order for this sport to continue in the way that it has and to evolve, there has to be this generational transmission, right? There have to be guys that are willing. And I've been really blessed. Like I've known Chris for a long time. Like when I lived in Atlanta, there were pros that I was able to access. When I was living, when I lived in the Northern California, Brandon Ray turned pro when he was living up there. So we had a chance to connect and build. And he's been one of my boys since we did the Junior Nationals in 07. And so, this is a small community. And so there's not enough room for folks to pull each other down. It's really a collective space. And I initially coming into the IFBB, I thought that's what it was going to be. Like I sat in my first athletes meeting at the Golden State Pro, and I'm like, oh, these are all guys that I've seen. Like, oh, where am I? What's about to happen? And I was like, hey, what's up? This is your first, like, Sandy asked, is anybody it's their first show? And I was like, hey, they was like, oh, because everybody's been there. My first pro show, yes. But since then I've done 2 more, so I feel a little more seasoned.
Yes.
But mindset is so critical, right? Like understanding, like, how do you structure your time? How do you structure your life? And a lot of us coming up as amateurs and even as young professionals, right? Like we don't have the ability to have these giant contracts and these other endorsements. Like we actually go to work. Like I get up, I work a regular 9 to 5, and I have a part-time job. I teach part-time as well.
Wow.
Right? And so it becomes very, very critical to have a lot of preparedness, to map out your meals for the week. Like I cook my meals once a week. I cook all my food once a week, and I know I shop, I cook, I divvy everything up. I have my disposable containers I get at the restaurant supply store, and every day I'm, bagging up food and taking it with me.
Wow.
My liquor store bags, so I can throw everything away. The whole model now is everything disposable. Nothing comes home to get washed.
Wow.
Except for the shaker bottle, unless they have disposable shaker bottles.
One thing that I like that I do try to convey to people is like, you can be a bodybuilder, you have to be a bodybuilder every day. You can't just try to wait and be like, okay, 6 months, I got a few months to go, I'm gonna try to be a bodybuilder now. It's like, why not eat good year round? That'll give you a whole.
There's no off season. It's progress season and pre-contest.
So he told me this a long time ago, even when I had taken a break. He was like, you have to eat year round. Like there's no time to not eat clean. And so even when I was on vacation, right, I learned that you can go to the hotel chef and ask the chef to make your meals. You tell them what you want. They will make it and have it at the times that you want it in these containers. So when you travel, there's no excuse. That's internationally. Domestically, any one of these meal prep companies that are out there, you can go online, you can ship your food, have it shipped to the hotel. It's right there. Ask for a microwave and a fridge in your room, you're good to go.
Boom.
And so there's no excuse to be off of your diet. And really the reality is when you eat the things that you're okay with, you don't have to go like, I'm dieting now and I can't have these things. Every now and then you allow yourself some latitude, when you're not far from the show or when you are far from the show. But the reality is when you stay close, like even right now, like I may not be as in the full size where I'm at, but I remember I just took 2 weeks on vacation.
Yep.
I had the flu.
Wow.
And I'm traveling a lot. Like this is my second week back in the gym after taking 2 weeks out.
Nice.
And we're still in decent shape. Like you guys will see like, the progress pictures and stuff.
Yep.
And the goal is when you stay tight like that, from the advice of like you diet year round, eat clean, have your meals, you can't go back and forth. When you diet down, the cuts are deeper, your conditioning's better. You're able to grow. Like everybody, thinks like, I want to grow into a show, but you can't grow into a show when you're trying to pull off 40 pounds.
That's right.
Like I'm like 235 now. I competed at 233. So I'll actually grow a little bit bigger. The goal is to compete above the 240s, but I'll grow up into that space because we've been able to stay tight, and we can give me more food as I have a little more tissue on me, and the conditioning improves and things like that. But once again, this is why it's really important. A lot of you guys out there that are like, how do I get to the next level? You know, I think there's this veneer of mystique, right, around being a professional bodybuilder that we really want to dispel, because it's the same thing. The same mindset that you had to get that top level, that same linear focus, like everything goes away, you have that every day now at the next level. Like that's just the stepping stone of where you need to be to get, you know, to advance as a professional. And so these are little things along the way that are really important. Ordering your meals, going to hotel chefs if you can't order your meals and have them shipped. Making sure that you give yourself a little bit of space and time. Taking, you don't take 2 months off, take a couple weeks off. Give yourself a chance to rest mentally. Right? This is 90% mental. The body follows the mind. And so your mindset of, I have my things prepared, I know what my schedule is going to be, I'm able to take my meals with me. If you have a job or something like that where you can't eat when you're on breaks, you're legally obligated, I think, by federal law to have like a break every 3 hours. That's it. If you're working 9 hours a day, you've got 3 meals, and you've got a whole bunch of hours in the day to get your feed. There's no reason you can't get 6 or 7, for the exception of lack of planning, right?
Gerald, we're about to run out of time, but I want you to tell me what you want to get out of that 4 or 5 episode series leading up to the Cal. What's important to you? Because I think you have some great ideas. So why don't you tell your public right now why you want to do this and what you have in mind, real quick?
Yeah, the goal of this video series is really simple. I feel like there are a lot of videos that are saying guys come in, they work out, and then they leave. They're like, hey, this is what I did in the gym today. This is what I did in the gym today. But the gym is only 10%, if that, of what bodybuilding really is. Your nutrition is paramount. Your mindset is paramount. Your scheduling is paramount. Your rest is paramount. And your resources and access to relationships are paramount. And for the guys out there, and the guys and gals out there who aren't fortunate enough to have access to a pro legend that got trained by another pro legend, so we've got the generation of the sport coming, as far as information coming down through this lineage. I want to make sure that I'm able to pass that on, because I'm still learning myself, right? This is my 2nd year as a pro. And I took a lot of time off, and I still work a regular job. And so a lot of the things that I'm doing, you're still doing. And I want to convey that. And unfortunately, I've been blessed enough to be successful, at least my barometer of success, by doing all of these things. And so my goal is to help pass some of those structures on to folks that are really trying to make it to that next level.
That's very generous of you, man. You know that? The guy's barely 30 years old. He's already thinking like you. So that's great.
Retirement.
He's retiring at 40. That's it. Well, thanks so much for having us today. And then this is just the first one of at least 4 to 5 videos you guys leading up to the California Pro, which is end of May, right?
May, yep. So it's going to be really exciting. This is day 1, right? So you guys can see the entire journey. Every series will be different.
That's awesome.
To some posing and all the different
that
you can do,
for sure.
As we prepare for
Thanks so much for having us.
See you later.
All right.